Sure, well, yeah.
We'll do that. Give me 1 second.
6:58.
I have 1 minute to open my envelope.
Yeah, it's 59 now. Fun reading.
More reading, right? You know, I love to read those. Okay, moving on. I'm gonna go ahead and call the meeting to order. It is, I think it's 7 o'clock. Let's call the May 21st Planning Board meeting. We're gonna start quickly with old business by taking a look at the minutes from last meeting. I did read these in email. Does anybody have any changes?
No, I didn't see anything.
Yeah, I didn't see anything either. I thought they were fine with that. You all right? Yeah, you know, motion to approve the minutes?
I so move.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, second?
Aye, I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we're gonna change up the order here on the agenda, and we are actually gonna start with number 2, which is an approval of resolution lot line 191-211 Bayview. It's a continuation from last month. The applicant seeks the consideration of a subdivision application, boundary line change submitted by Sheldon Stowe, Sumant Kulkarni, and Rajni Tyagi. The subject properties are located at 191 Bayview Avenue, also known as Tax Map Section 109, Block 1, Lot 15.41, and 211 Bayview Avenue, also known as Tax Map Section 109, Block 1, Lot 14.2. The applicants are seeking to transfer 0.1277 acres from 211 Bayview to 191 Bayview.
And I'm recusing myself from this one.
Okay, your firm is involved, right? Okay. We had asked that they submit a few things clarifying who had whose name the application was in. We did receive that. And we asked that Mrs. Stowe, Sheldon, the other property owner, submit something in
Yes,
writing.
and we did receive that.
We received that as well from Michelle Stowe.
And there were we also received a corrected EAF that we had requested. And from my discussion with the building inspector this afternoon, my understanding is that we did not receive the 239. Oh, no, we did. We
We
did.
did.
And it's a local determination?
Determination.
All right, so we got the 239M referral. It's no binding comments. It's for this board to determine as a local matter.
Yeah, and I think everything was pretty straightforward unless anyone else had any questions or comments.
No.
Okay, Joe, is this the resolution you've prepared?
I have well, I don't know if I want to hear from the applicant at all, but I have a draft. That must be
This is last one.
that's last month. So I have a draft that I've prepared for myself. If the board wants to discuss it with the applicant any further, I have a draft I can read into the record, and then the board can take action if you want to do that.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Okay.
I don't,
Should read on.
yeah.
Well,
Go ahead.
okay.
I don't
So you
think
have
that-
you have no questions for the applicant?
No, I don't
No.
have
Okay.
any further.
I do have
think
one question for council. I don't know, have you prepared draft deeds, or did you get those surveys completed for the 2 lots?
We haven't prepared the deeds yet, but
Right.
I do have the legal description
Okay,
that I prepared for the new setup.
all right. So we'll just make it a condition that you'll submit them to us for review.
We'll just include that in the resolution you prepare.
Yeah. I think that was it.
Yeah.
I don't think there was any other matter.
No, we just had those outstanding issues and they were all submitted, so I think
Okay.
I don't think there were really any questions.
All right, so there we go.
Joe, you can do all the reading this.
I'm going to do the reading. All right. So it's a resolution of the planning board, Village of Cornwall and Hudson, approving a boundary line change on the application submitted by, I'll apologize in advance for my pronunciation, Kulkarni and Tiagi and Stowe for a lot line change in the SR and CR1 zoning districts. Whereas the Planning Board of the Village of Cornwall and Hudson has received a joint application from the applicants to approve a boundary line change between the lands of Kilcarney and Tiagi, Section 109, Block 1, Lot 15.41, and the adjacent parcel owned by Sheldon Stowe and Michelle Spione. Section 109, Block 1, Lot 14.2. That will result in the exchange of approximately plus or minus 0.1277 acres from the Stowe parcel to the Kilcarney and Tiagi parcel. And whereas the applicant is filed and the board has reviewed a complete sketch plan application, exhibits short environmental assess form as corrected. Whereas the application was forwarded to the Orange County Department of Planning in accordance with General Municipal Law 239M, and whereas the Orange County Department of Planning has determined that there are no adverse countywide impacts associated with the project and that it's for local determination. Now, therefore, it is, let's see, hereby resolved. Okay. What the heck? Okay. Give me a second. Okay. All right. Now we are. And whereas on April 16th, 2024, pursuant to and in accordance with the provisions of Section 617.6 of the regulations implementing the New York State Environmental Quality Review Act, SEQR, the Planning Board determined that the proposed action is an action subject to SEQR and designated itself as lead agency with respect to the consideration, review, and determination of the significance of the aforementioned application pursuant to SEQR Regulation 617.6B1I, since there were no other agencies that had the authority to approve the project. And whereas on April 16, 2024, Planning Board classified the action as a Type 2 action under SEQR and determined that no further SEQR review was required. Now, therefore, be it hereby resolved that the applicant has granted a boundary line change subject to the following. 1. Submission of draft deeds for review by the attorney for the Planning Board, submission of a plat and final form for recording for review by the engineer for the Village Planning Board, and payment of all outstanding fees, escrows, and other monies owed to the Village of Cornwall and Hudson as may be required in connection with the application. And what I will do in going over this, I realized the board did waive certain requirements. There was a topographical information that was required on the sketch plan, so we waived that. So with that modification, I just want to make a clear record that was waived. I'll include that in the final draft of the resolution. So unless the board has any questions or concerns, I would suggest that the chairperson make a motion to approve the boundary line change.
I would make a motion to approve the boundary line change between Suman Kilcarney, Rajni Tyagi, and Sheldon Stowe and Michelle Stowe. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Lee? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Well, you're all set. You just owe us a couple things. Thank you. Want to come back up, Kristen? And we're going to jump back up to item 1 on the agenda. 206 Hudson Street, the lands of W&B Realty LLC. The applicant is seeking to amend previously approved site plan to remove the use of garage as an accessory space to use specialty shops. Applicant is also seeking site plan approval to demolish said garage and to construct a mixed-use 2-story 6-bay garage on the first floor and 2 800-square-foot apartments on the second floor. Both uses are permitted by right of the SRCBS overlay district. Tommy, I know there was a lot of back and forth. Is Dominic gonna be able to come? Do you wanna
Yeah.
go ahead, or do you wanna schedule a special meeting to meet and figure out? It's up to you.
Why don't we have a brief, now he's not here.
This is-
Brief discussion.
This is only a pre-application meeting to determine if his application is complete to set the public hearing.
We've had meetings
But it
on this project.
changed before the way this project came forward was the garage and the apartment. The garage was gonna be part of the apartment, so we were reviewing that under the SR district. But then we understood that he wanted to do 2 separate occupancy, which at that point, we could not do it that way. So he coming back to present it to get a site plan amendment for the previous approval, for that building being an accessory use to the specialty shop, and requesting a site plan approval for the new construction, which is the two apartments and the garage.
So, just refresh my memory. When you came last, I think it was November,
Yes, November.
you presented it that you were gonna do apartments upstairs
That's correct.
and you were gonna rent the garages. Am I correct?
Yes, yeah,
That was always the plan, right?
yes.
So,
It wasn't set up that way. When I submitted the application that was sent to me, it wasn't set up as 2 separate occupancy. It was 1 occupancy, being the garage, being part of the unit upstairs.
On the description, it spelled it out here, but apparently it was overlooked.
no, I mean, I remember us having a discussion about it. Does everyone remember that?
Yes.
We had a discussion about that, Manny. So, we referred him at that time to the ZBA. Right?
Yes.
Everyone remembers that.
But if you look at the site plan, the bulk table and everything was set up under the SR district, which is not allowed to do a garage. And he was using the bulk table for the SR district, which is not permitted garage, indoor garage in that district. It has to be under the CBS.
So you're saying what he needed to do was amend the bulk plan on the plan and just put it in the CBS, but because we know the building's in the CBS. Like, is there like an overlay there?
Yeah, but that means he doesn't have to go to the zoning board because the bulk table is set by this board under the CBS district for this type of occupancy.
Well, my understanding was that I thought he had to go to the zoning board because the building, the new construction requires a new foundation. And because it was new construction, once you have to do a new foundation, because those were the engineer's comments. The comments were that the existing foundation would not support the new structure. So my understanding was we referred him to the ZBA because even though there's a pre-existing building, we're gonna put a building right on top of it, but as like formality, you have to go to the ZBA, even though it's pre-existing non-conforming, to get that approval again. So I believe that's why we referred him in November, but then he was told by your office that he does not need to go to the ZBA, so he did not go to the ZBA.
That's
And now
correct.
he's back here again.
Right, exactly
So-
for what I just explained, because that was done under the SR district, which would have required him to go to planning, to zoning to get those variants.
So, but even if it's in the CBS, if it's new construction, even, so he's gotta put a new foundation in to support this new building. So you're saying within the CBS, he would not be required to go to zoning?
No, this board will set the bulk table for that type of occupancy. Under our section 172-9.
All right, so we discussed, we received the comment from the engineers. And then we had a discussion this afternoon that there were at least 3 bulk variances that were required. And then the question was whether we were going to send them, I understand what you're saying now, but then the question was whether or not, well, that they would have to go to the ZBA. So, so if there are only bulk variances, I'm trying, So if there are only bulk variances, do we have do you have a list of what those are? Because some of them would be, if they're, are you saying all of the bulk variances are waivable?
They're not waivable, they are set by this board.
They're set, okay. So, understood, so they're set. So if we set them in accordance with the plan, what you're saying is that they don't need a referral to the ZBA.
No, because this board will set it and approve it.
So it says the CBS Central Business and Shopping Zone is a sub-district superimposed on a portion of the SR. Said sub-district is established to provide opportunity for and to encourage development of commercial business, office, other related uses. The uses that can be established within the CBS sub-district shall be allowed only on specific properties or parts thereof as shown on the zoning map, and only under the conditions herein specified. The CBS sub-district shall include the uses and applicable provisions of the SR residential. So approved uses: retail store, shop, personal service shop, bank, theater, rental, office, garage.
Recommend a garage?
Yeah, garage. Specialty shop, meeting room, auction, newsstand, hotel, motel, multifamily residence, animal hospital, laundry. For changes from one of the enumerated uses to another, the code enforcement officer may waive the requirement for site plan approval, provided that all of the following conditions exist. Prior use obtained site plan approval and was not otherwise exempted from a complete review. So prior use was just storage barns.
Yeah, it was an accessory use
It was an accessory use to which house?
to the old highway garage.
Oh, it's the old highway, okay. The off-street parking requirements for the proposed use are the same or less than the prior use. What are the parking requirements on this one?
It said, it.
I think 4.
The bulk, this board will set it under the bulk table requirements.
I have plenty of parking.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of parking back there. There's no change in peak traffic hours, there's no change in the footprint. So that is true. No change in the location, that is true. No change in the height of the structures. It's gonna be the same height, correct?
We're gonna go higher.
So higher requires. Okay, so you're here for site plan approval anyway, so that's fine. So site plan approval is required. It already was an accessory use garage. Lot and yard requirements, they're all in. Oh, it's all just as required by the planning board. Maximum permitted height of 35 feet. What is the maximum? What's the height on this?
It's less than that.
Okay,
Yeah, they're less than 35, so they meet that requirement also.
28,
okay.
I believe. So I'm approved?
I mean, the way this reads, we don't need to refer you, we can determine it. Joe, did you look at the code? I mean, I'm reading it out loud to you, but
Where are you reading from?
I have the
172.
179
172.
172.9. The whole bulk table says as required by planning board, so, as determined by planning board. So, I guess the only question I have is.
So there's no height variance required, so these are all,
There's no
Amenities
change in
would be
traffic, I mean,
front.
there's people going in and out of there.
front, rear, and total size.
Everything is depending on this
All
board.
as required by the planning board.
Yeah,
And it's within the same existing footprint?
it doesn't matter.
No, I'm just saying, but
But
it is.
No, it
yeah.
says that here.
Yeah, it
says
is, yeah.
must
Well,
be
yeah, that it has that
But it
also.
is.
But even if it didn't have it, and a project will come forward, it still be determined by this board.
Well, then, does anyone have any questions?
Yeah, Tom, what's the height of the building right now? The height of the structure right now?
I'd have to scale it, but I believe it's probably at the highest point of around 21 feet.
Okay.
So
And you're going to 28?
approximately 28.
And the
Don't,
max is
can't hold me
35.
to it, but I just gotta verify that. But it's way under 35.
Well, then, we would just need to declare ourselves. I mean, do we have to declare
So would we
ourselves?
still need a new foundation or no?
Well,
You're gonna need that, but that's gonna be part of the plan review. Determined by the design professional and myself when we review whether that foundation is capable of holding anything else or has to be replaced.
Well, as per the comments we received previously from the engineers, they determined that based on what they're seeing, that's gonna need a new foundation, but,
If I
That-
might add,
that's-
they never did any tests, they just visually looked
Yeah.
at it.
well, I
That-
mean, I'm sure that's gonna,
Yeah, that's part of the plan review under the state code.
I'm sure all of that's gonna have, Manny's gonna have to look at all that, so.
just give me a minute.
We're holding for a moment now.
What I'm,
Any questions?
Hmm?
Do you have any questions?
No, I'd love to see it.
Yeah. I know.
Poor guy has been going
Right.
over these properties.
No, because we set the, yes. Based on the code, it says he does not need that, the planning board can determine that, and I mean, it's already there, so even if he did, it would be already pre-existing non-conforming, and it would be like a formality, you know? So,
Tom, there's already water and sewer to the site, public water and sewer?
I have to get a bigger sewer main probably to substantiate the two apartments, but there is a water curb stop there, there's sewer like closer to me and you together. So there's a sewer main that goes, it's already there. I talked to my trainer,
That's the
and
village.
he's aware of
that's
the fact
village.
that we're,
Manny, are you aware of any other approvals they need either from the town or any other outside agency?
No.
so, I mean, do we need those approvals, like, do we need that
No, so the-
information? We can
the-
declare lead agency, but we need those.
Well, that's what I'm trying to,
Not necessarily approval, but we have to notify several agencies. And then we gotta wait for their feedback on, just like we do with the county.
interested agencies.
Yeah, agency, yeah,
Because it's not a county, it's a state
Right.
road.
that's correct, yeah. And if, they have any issue, they'll let us know. And then at that time, he needs to comply with them.
So the agencies, that's actually what I'm asking, right? So he's got water, he's got sewer.
He needs an updated sewer.
Well, but still,
But that's us,
but he's making,
that's
but
us.
he's making connections, so any connection that he does with the water main, with the sewer, all that gotta go through the proper channels and get
Well,
with
I-
their permit.
Right,
Yeah, I understand that, Is there any agency outside the village of Cornwall on Hudson?
Department of Transportation,
You do.
let's see, the 911 communications.
Okay.
County Department of Transportation, County Department of Health, the utility company, and then everything else is us.
And the DOT is there gonna be a change in the entrance? Is that?
No,
There should be no change, but we gotta send it to them. Maybe they have an issue with it, now that there's gonna be apartments there and cars coming in and out, maybe they want some kind of modification.
Tommy, do you know, have you sent, Dominic, or has anybody sent anything outside of?
I submitted 17 plans to Manny, so I think
What we did,
Okay,
the process that we're doing now is, all these documents went out to all these
so
agencies.
you did that
Pending,
already?
yeah, pending your setting up the public hearing. So that when you do set up the public hearing, everything should be back to us and you'll have all that information already.
So if the board is satisfied with what you've received, we can circulate for lead agency status.
I believe, unless, I don't want to speak for, yeah, I believe the board is satisfied.
Okay. So we'll circulate for lead agency status.
Yeah.
And
Can we set the public hearing for next month?
Yeah,
I think
Yes,
so.
you should, you should. This is the reason why he's here.
I mean, I know, but Joe's leaning wobbly because.
Well, I don't know if we're
have
gonna get-
determined
I just-
lead
in-
agency and
well,
we
we-
might not get everything back.
well, in all fairness to the applicant, I think the answer should be yes.
Yeah, I think.
If it has to come off the public hearing agenda because we don't get the responses timely or something comes up, then that's a different issue.
Right.
So Yes, so you can circulate for lead agency, and we can schedule a public hearing for the amended site plan application for the June meeting.
So it's a combination of amendment of the site plan that he has and approval of the new site plan. Because he was approved as a accessory to another building, so we need to remove that approval and then give him a new approval for his site plan now. So he's gonna be doing both of those,
So it's the amended site plan.
and site plan approval.
Site plan approval. Okay.
You want to say all that?
Sure.
Here,
So,
you wanna read it?
There you go. Perfect.
well. Oh, this is about the site, okay. All right. So the board can make a motion to authorize me to circulate for lead agency designation. And then if the board wants to continue, you can accept the application as complete and schedule a public hearing for the June meeting.
So I'm gonna go ahead and make a motion to go ahead and have that recirculate for lead agency status. Okay. Gary seconds, all in favor? Aye. And then I would go ahead and recommend that we accept the application.
Accept the
as
application as complete
complete.
and,
Make that motion. Do I need to make a motion for that?
well, and accept the application as complete and schedule the public hearing on the
And schedule the
public hearing on the
June.
amended site plan application
Yeah.
and on the new site plan application for the June meeting.
I need to say that.
I think I did say
You
that.
said it for me. So I would make a motion to accept the site plan application as complete. I say I've already forgotten, and accept the
Except the new one.
the new one, the amended site plan application, and set the public hearing for the June 18th,
June 18th.
2024 meeting.
Okay, I make that
Yeah,
move.
okay. Lee, second, all in favor?
Thank you.
Okay.
Is there anything else that you're aware of before we conclude?
No, I don't think so. I think that's exactly what I needed to do. I'll submit the next paperwork. I'll give you another application like this. I'll put everything on it for you right there, and that's it.
I just have one quick, what do I need to do from here? Just
I'll
show
take care of
up?
that.
Okay.
I'll take care of that.
Circulate all the.
All right, can the board give me a minute to try to reach his attorney? Maybe he'll take my call. Before we all leave, I want to make sure we're all on the same page.
Maybe November before, but
Because it wasn't. I
remember
it was a
2022.
long time ago, but
Yeah.
not,
Tommy, were you here November 2022? I don't think you, really?
You're, this past November.
Was it this past November?
maybe I wasn't, maybe I missed
Maybe you
that
weren't
one.
here. Okay.
I remember a meeting, but it's way back.
Oh, Tommy comes every year.
Yeah.
For
Right?
several
Was that
decades.
the first time you
No.
were here
No,
on
he's-
this project, or were you here before?
No, I was here before.
Yeah, no, he's been here.
I used to have hair when I started with those lots where you didn't have.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Gary knows.
Yes, I do.
Does anybody know if Fishwa had any opinion?
He was in favor. He reached out to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't, unless he could submit something in writing, but there was a text, so, we don't, but he let me know that he was, so.
walk in?
Great day.
It was beautiful. I just don't like the pollen gets my eyes, so I could,
It was so windy down there today.
Did you get a hold of him, Joe?
We're all good.
We're good? Okay, well then, we'll see you back next month.
I did get a chance to speak with Dominic. We're all good. He agrees. Because we had a slightly different discussion this afternoon. Obviously, that's why he's not here. So we're in agreement as to everything that we're doing. We're gonna put it on for the public hearing. Should something arise or we not get the responses that we need, we'll deal with that when we get to it. This way, at least your application moves to the next stage.
appreciate everybody's
Thank you, Tommy.
cooperation.
Thanks, Tommy.
Very appreciate it.
Okay, then I would make a motion to close the May 21st, 2024 Planning Board meeting.
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'm gonna turn the thing off because I want to just. And then, that's it. If everybody just has a minute, would like everybody to meet Bill.
Who's Bill?
This is Bill